Welcome back to Satisfactory. It's time to explore. Now we have our blade runners, we can move around much faster, and it's time to head out. So we started over here near this lake, which you can't really see right now because of the fog, but trust me, we are near a lake. And to actually get to the oil sort of area, we have to head out past the lake and sort of southwestish, sort of that direction. So I'm going to head out that way, probably bring you back. What we're really looking for is like a high rock area that we can get across and bridge across into the sort of oil area. So because I've got, I think I've got some, did I take some beacons with me? I did, good. So if I have some beacons, let's just swap those out for, let's not swap them out. I'll swap them out when I get to something decent. We're going to head out and see if we can find something useful. So I'm going to bring you back as I head out there on a journey, and I'll bring you in at the appropriate point and point out some useful stuff. It's too foggy. I can't see anything. So here we are out. You can see I've scanned for the crude oil. Yeah, 500 meters that way is our crude oil. And there's this high area here with stuff on top of it. I think there's a crash up there somewhere as well. You can see, well, there's a No Man's Sky creature. Yep. And there is our space elevator. So I guess we can see if, let's just scan for that again. I assume that is going to be left of that pillar rather than at the top of the pillar. Yeah, so it's going to be over there somewhere. So we have to go and get over there. I guess I'm going to swim and let's see if we can find our oil. So let's just look at that. Oh, and it's green. Oh, no desert. No desert. Oh, so nice to actually not be stranded. So let's go and take a look. 100 meters. Will there be any defense of the oil from creatures? Well, there's our oil. That's good. So it's not actually that far from the base. We're going to need to bring our belt back out of here, I think. And then probably send it sort of that way. And then maybe along the shore or something, that kind of line. That seems to be fine. And there is, yes, there is a defense. There is a creature. So I guess I'm just going to just snack up and make sure we're on full health. And go and say hi. Hi. Come back. Ow! That, yep, okay. Do not argue with the creature that is seemingly... He's starting to throw stuff. But then the sort of flame balls come out of where it was, not where it is. Very odd. Yep. I will kill this thing. There we go. Okay, so I'll probably get some alien organs. They'll do, and here is our first Here's our first crude oil spot. It's pure. We can put down basically an oil pump. There is no power over here at the moment. I'm definitely not going to put this on top of foundations or anything, because we're just too far away from the base. We can always realign it later if we need to. But for now, I think I'm going to put that going that way. And this thing has no power right now, but so let me just go and mark all the other oil spots with... there's 1, there's 2, and 3. So we've got them about 145 meters, 218. So if I just mark this with a beacon, just to make sure that I can actually mark this down as oil. Okay, E. Beacon color. Let's put it as, well, sort of light brown or something. And let's just call it oil times 3. Yep, and that should do. Well, if it actually took the name, there we go, oil times 3. So I can see that on my compass. Good. Now all I need to do is just put down another couple of those on the other couple of spots, and then maybe hook these together with some power cable, defend myself against whatever is going to be over there, and yeah, well, I'll get back to the base really, and then obviously string some power out here, or string power as I'm going back. Let's get everything set up so that the oil will be arriving somewhere near the base. I'm back at the base. The oil is nearly back here. I had to go and go and get more of this conveyor belt Mark III and more rods. But I do have now enough to get it close enough to the base that we can start production. But before I get that, I just want to finish off this explorer point. The milestone over here, we get crystal oscillators, silica, quartz crystals, more importantly, the map. The Explorer buggy, so that will help if I need to go backwards and forwards, if I want to build one of those, and of course we can scan for quartz itself, so that'll be useful. So if I just then active milestone and put in one modular frame, off it goes. And we get Explorer. So that's fine. Skip you. New scalable resources, new parts. Let's see where our closest raw quartz is, shall we? Okay. No pings yet. Come on, ping, please. Oh, there we go. Okay, so they're all about a kilometer away from here, it looks like. Yeah, then there's nothing in any direction that we're already in. Right, so a kilometer that way is one of the options. It's not even near the oil. The oil is that direction, and yeah. So well, I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to need quartz, but at least we know where they are. Let's just take a look. Is there anything else in here? Vehicles there we go. So I could already make the tractor, but the tractor is really slow. The Explorer, however, is not. However, it does need the crystal oscillators. Now, crystal oscillators, if I just take these recipe out for here for a second. Select recipe, crystal oscillator. What does it actually need? It needs 10 quartz crystal, 14 cable, and 4 reinforced. And it's 2-to-1 quartz crystal to the refined kind. So I basically need, how much was it for this Explorer? 5. So for one of these I need 10, so that's 50. So I need 100 quartz crystal. I don't have 100 quartz crystal. So yeah, I'm going to have to go find those spots, or indeed something else. But I can't get that Explorer vehicle just yet, and I don't want to make the tractor. So I'm going to head back out there, put the final oil pump back in, and then probably take a bunch of concrete. Have I got a bunch of concrete? I got 200 concrete. That's not a lot. We'll get probably a new floor down for our oil area, or at least maybe a temporary oil area. If you want to build an outpost with oil out there, you can. There's a very, very large and flat spot out there right next to the oil pumps. So if you wanted to build them locally, there's definitely room to do so. I wanted to bring the oil back here and do it all the processing. Well, not right here, but close enough to here to really help. You can see we've got the lake here. I really want to pave this over, but it's kind of picturesque. So yeah, I'm maybe going to try and fit it in this kind of lakeshore area on this side. We will need to put foundations down, but can you actually see my belt from here? It should be, I think it's right there. You can just about see it in the distance. It's got all the oil canisters on it. So this should be big enough, and we may have to elevate another area if it isn't, but or maybe even have the foundation one level up from that over there, I think. Maybe, otherwise we're going to get stuff sticking through it, although we can always chainsaw through that. So yeah, I'm just going to extend the foundation out, and then this way you can see there's my belt quite clearly now, and I'm out of steel beams already, but yeah, it's all level 3 belt all the way from the other side, and that's where we run out of level 3 belt. But lots and lots of glorious oil. Off to build the foundation. And it's a day later for me, but I've been through and put a lot of foundation down. Well, a lot for this part of the game. This is 2/3 of a full container, or the first tier container. And all of this is just available for space now. Of course, we're going to be building buildings on it. But to get started, we can lay out sort of the requirements without putting a building down, and then we can collapse them into buildings that are hopefully stackable from there. I also went out and explored. You see, I can see a quartz ore and S.A.M ore, or strange alien metal. Those are quite close, so I've got the exploration research, so I can show you on the map, which is good. So here is our oil down there. See, it's quite a trek down to the coast and down. Strange alien metal, or S.A.M, is in the cave just north of where my space elevator is, and then quartz is all the way over here. Now there's a couple of spots that are a lot closer, but they show up in like a gas field, one of those green fields, and they don't even show up on the ground, so, or at least I can't see them without going into the gas field. So that's the only one that isn't in a gas field, and it took a bit of a trek. However, I did head out there, took some ore manually, and put that in a machine back at the base that's making these. So it's making the crystal oscillators from the quartz crystals, which is making it from the crystal ore, and I have a few of them available. So if I want to make an explorer vehicle, I now can, basically, but I'm just leaving them in reserve for now. So we've got to deal with the oil somehow, and if you remember, it gets made into 3 different things. It gets made into fuel, so we can use it for power, but we have coal for that, so that's not so important. However, the other things it can be made into is plastics, and do I need some? Oh, reinforced iron plate. I'll go and get that. Plastics and what was the other one? Circuit boards, I think. So we need to go and basically make the infrastructure for that. So I'm just going to go and grab that from the rest of the base. I will just show you. In fact, I did also find a hard drive. Put that on research. So the hard drive is just a crash site right next to that quartz that's on the map. It's literally off the edge of the cliff next to it, and the cliff isn't very tall, so you can obviously get up there with foundation. So I'm just going to see if that hard drive is now completed its research, and we will see if that is going to give us anything. 1 minute. Okay. So here's the recipe we've got existing for reinforced iron plate. I just wanted to outline this because it needs 4 iron plate and 24 screws, and it produces 5 per minute. 4 iron plate, 24 screws, remember that? Okay, now our hard drive offered us new recipes. In here, we have quick wire, not that concerned. Rubber cable, not that concerned as well. You can combine rubber with copper to save on copper, basically, I imagine, or to get more rubber cable. But reinforced iron plate, 10 screws, so sorry, not 10 screws, 10 plate and 24 screws, which is increase of 6 plate, but plate is quite quick, and we've now produced it 50% faster, 7.5 per minute. But these 2 things produce 3, 6 screws and 6 plates and 24 screws currently produce 1. So we're about to massively, we're definitely going to choose that recipe. Yep. And we should be able to massively increase our reinforced iron plate production, which is good. Some other things that I found a purple power slug, which is why it's offering me this research, and also it will also do a research for crystal oscillators. Not sure what that research will involve, but I may well actually take that because I've got 6 already, and there's probably some in the outside. Yeah, 4. Okay, I did plan that well. Or at least accidentally. Where was I? Research, yes. So let's just research the crystal oscillators and feed those in. It's going to be 22 minutes, so that's the 23 minutes or something like that. Purple power slug I also have, so I can put that in there, and that's about it for now, I think. So that's that can go ahead. And this can go away for now. We're going to get heavy modular frames soon, but we're probably going to move them somewhere else. And this is just what I'd use to process the Caterium into quick wire, so you can be tidied up as well. Just tidy up around the base. That's nice the way it was before. So yep, I do need to clear up this. I don't quite like this approach, but for now it'll do. Can't clear it up just yet. So let's go and sort out the oil. And I said circuit boards before. What I actually meant was plastic and rubber. Circuit boards come from all of that, basically. Circuit boards are plastic and copper. If I remember rightly, it is the day after for me, before I did this. So we're going to need a constructor or 2, I think, because it's only 1 input. So we're going to put this in roughly 2 sort of buildings. So why don't we just lay out a couple of buildings that are roughly where they'll be. If we imagine, so the buildings might start around about here. And, you know, I'm not going to put the entire building's walls in, but just so I know where to lay everything out. Do I have enough foundation to do this? Yeah, maybe I don't. That's annoying. I wanted 2 3x3 buildings side by side with a 2 gap, and there's sand in the way. I guess, can we actually get that connected to this wall? Oh, we can. Okay, so that's fine. We'll get the 2 3x3 buildings, and we'll feed them into one side like this, and have some constructors on the inside. So if this is a 3x3, then we just want constructors to be. In fact, do they occupy 1 by 1? They do. Whether they'll fit, that's something else. But let's just put 2 in for now in each one. Oh, that's annoying. You can't get rid of these unless there's a plant nearby, and there is no plant nearby. So I'm going to have to mirror these 2. Okay, and it won't snap to the foundation. Well, we're redoing this. There's no building over here. That's just a fiction. Let's just set this building up. The other one I'm going to set up, probably take the belter on the outside, and I'm just going to set them up, maybe going this way instead, and it'll go into the next one. So that's fine. That's how I always intended it. Yes, so that's going to go there. Okay. And we'll just bring in the belt to this side. This one is now going to make us... can you not make what I thought you could make? Oil production? Is that not made in one of these things? Craft bench. Oil and plastics. What are you made in? Well, you're just made... yeah, manually. Is that not in here? Am I blind? No. Derp. Complete derp. Forgot it's oil refinery, which is much bigger. So that's only going to get one in one building. No problem. If it'll actually fit even at all in one building. It may have to be 4x4, you know, because look at the size of the thing. Yeah. So why don't we just go for 4x4s and put it in the middle of 2 like that. Okay. And then, of course, the walls will go on the outside, sort of around here, kind of thing. That's a 3x4. Yeah, let's go for 3x4. But that's going to be... yeah. That's going to be huge floor heights. That's going to be like 6, maybe 5 or 6 floor heights. Yes. So this one's going to be making plastic. And all we need to do is feed in basically crude oil for that. So let's just grab a splitter and merger. In this case, a splitter. And we're going to feed it in off this end of the building. So let's just feed it in that way. There we go. And you can come over here for now. And just start. We're going to need some power over here, but we have power already. So if I just get a power pole around the outside. And another power pole here, I think. There. And then feed it off this one. There we go. Plastic. Good. That's now been created. And of course we'll have to feed this out. We have room here, so that's not a problem. And of course we'll have to split and merge, etc. and have some kind of stackable approach. But for now, that's fine. I'm going to set up an identical sort of setup for one of those. I'm going to put it sort of down here. Ooh. I just about have enough room to do this without encountering another one of these buckyball kind of things. Yeah, so let's just lay it out that way. And oops. Yeah, there we go. That'll fit. Yeah, that's going to work quite well. So another refinery in is going to go there, and then we should be good to go. And we must remember to get this reinforced iron plate recipe up and running. So we need to just put in some screws and some plates into our milestone. And yep, there it goes, into our hub. And that should then make it available for us to switch to, which is what we're going to do immediately, because that's much, much more efficient in terms of resources. So let's just get that out of there and just head in here. We can just switch this over. New recipe. Alternate reinforced iron plate. So same ingredients, good, different output, which is even better. So let's just go and make sure our other floors are happily doing that as well. I think I've almost jumped too high for this now. And yeah, we'll just pop in here and do the same thing. So switch to alternate reinforced iron, and then there's one final floor. And then we can get the plastics on the run. I had to put in more coal generators, just as you saw me placing that refinery. It uses a lot of power, so it spiked the power, and we ran out. So I went and placed another coal generator or 2, and in fact I think I put 3 down. But I actually ran out of sort of symmetric mirrored symmetric room up there. So there's now one that's odd just because there's cliffs in the way. Basically, I run out of a flat room, so I'm going to need to move the coal onward to somewhere else if we're going to keep on putting stuff up there. But otherwise, yeah, all fine. So we're just going to head back out here and get that other refinery down, and then we're going to look at what we need to do to process the materials. Our crystal oscillator research is now complete, so we can then choose something else on the left-hand side here. I'm going to choose that purple power slug. I think I have... Oh, hang on. Limited radar technology. New milestone in tier 5 with a derived building. Okay, new milestone in tier 5 with a derived building. Radar technology. Radar towers. Reveals an area around itself on the map. The area grows itself over time to a maximum. Placing the tower high up increases the max area revealed. That takes 50 crystal oscillators. I'm not going to have that just yet. And yeah, so that can go away for now. And I have a bunch of stuff I need to throw away. I basically filled my backpack again with stuff I don't need. Oil in particular, and this strange alien metal I can't really do anything with. I don't think I can actually research it, so that's going to have to go away. We are going to need some other things, however, so that's worthwhile getting. In particular, I'm going to need copper over there with our oil. Now, right now, we've got a miner Mark 1, which we can also replace with a Mark 2. That's not a problem. And it's just like a series feed here, straight into basically producing copper ingots. And from the copper ingots is going through another machine into wire, and it's really wire that we actually want, but at the moment we just have this copper this copper mine not really doing anything. So either we can put a building up over here and produce lots and lots and lots of wire. That's one option. This sort of mine, however, is it's built into this cliff, and I don't think the building will work too well if we put it around the mine. So unusually for this, I'm probably going to have to put the building here where it does have clearance. So this sort of area, let me just put up a sort of surround so you get the idea. Like that, maybe? And once we have the building here, what we can do is make sure that building just outputs either copper ingots or wire. Now, copper ingots would probably be... How much wire is being produced? This is producing 3 wire at a time from copper ingots. So if I shipped out the copper ingots, that would make sure I could just make wire locally over there. And I'd basically have to transport 3 times less stuff on the belts. Eventually, that'll become a problem. That the volumes of stuff, things like screws and everything else, just means that it hits the capacity on the belt that much sooner. Right now we don't have the problem because we're on level 3 belt, but at some point soon that's going to actually cause us problems. So I think what we might do here is set up copper. Can I actually just put a personal box down? Organization. Yeah, personal storage box. I'm just going to put it out here for now. And it's just a temporary box in order for me to just get rid of some stuff I just don't need. While I'm actually, sorting out this sort of thing. A beacon I don't need. Encased beams, caterium ore. Yep, all that can go away, and that's giving me plenty of space to be able to sort everything else out. So what I want to just do, first of all, is just get rid of this storage container. That's going to give me lots and lots of wire in my inventory, but that means I'm then going to basically move this thing, and we're then going to be able to... Oh, I can just take this out of here. I can't take that container out. It's full of copper ingots for now, but I can just put that production back in. So constructor, and I can just put it a little bit closer to this. Put that right. It's gonna be right there. Okay, and this can just make stuff like that, and this can just go feed into here, and wire. Okay, so that should be set back up again, same way as it did before, and we'll just set up some power. And off it there goes. That should back up really quickly, however. So now we have the space to basically redo this sort of building that's going to sit here just for copper ingots, basically. So that's going to need me to eliminate this box at some point. Set up 2 of these, I think, on the each floor. We should be able to fit that in easily enough, if not even 3. And then split everything that way. And the building's now complete, or at least the first floor of it is. There is 3 smelters on each floor. They're being fed, or will be fed, by the miner at the back. We can probably replace that with a miner Mark 2 as soon as it starts to do that. Unfortunately, it's not really aligned. So, and also there is a bug here. If you put a wall here with a conveyor door in it, that is even too close to connect. If you connect it to this wall, it will not be able to choose the entrance to this splitter. There's clearly a bug there. That's more than enough room to be able to do that. So I hope the developers get it fixed soon. It affects walls all over the place in my factory. Same thing here. Yeah, that's too close. Really annoying. You just can't connect with one side of it. You can't connect to the splitter or merger side. So I've then got this on an elevated belt. You can see it running out all the way around here. The conveyor with the copper ingots, that is. And it's going to run all the way through these existing factory buildings, which is I'm getting to the point to need to clean up clean them up at some point. But for now, I'm just shipping out all of the copper ingots that we can out over here, because they're going to be needed for a factory building over here. So I've got a couple of constructors already in place and a splitter, so we can just probably bring this into a just for now anyway, into a splitter back here. Yeah, I could feed it directly into there, but just in case we want this somewhere else in the future, I'm just going to put it elevated, so splitter something like here. And I want it lined up with that one. That might be too much of a... Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. And did I remember to... Yeah, I did remember to rotate that correctly. Okay, and in you go. And just as a sort of thematic sort of excuse. Yep, that's being held up perfectly fine. And in come our copper ingots, which are going to go in here, and we're going to be making wire out of them. So this is going to be a wire factory. But whether I'm going to need two machines or not, I don't know. But I may as well place them. They're near enough free. And on the other side, we'll just merge them back in again. So merger, switching this way, going outwards, I think. Or can we actually put it right in the middle? It might be better right in the middle. Yeah, why don't we do that? And then we'll just get it sort of lines properly. There we go. One. That's needs to be this way. Yep. There you go. Two. These need to have power, but that should be apart from power. So let me just get the power sorted. We have power pole back there. Here we have power poles this side. Why don't we just get it out here? Metal wall's going to be there, so why don't we just have it here for something like that. Okay, and for now I'll just put it to that. Okay, do they both have wire selected? They do now. So we shall start getting wire on this side pretty quickly. Yep, there it is. And the wire we're going to need to turn into cable and other stuff. So let's just take a look. To make circuit boards, let me just put in a craft bench, just so I can take a look at the recipes. All the way down at the bottom. We've got plastic already, we've got rubber already, that's no problem. We need to make computers pretty quickly, and that needs circuit boards, and it needs plastic, screws, and cable. Now we need to get screws out from the factory, or iron out from the factory, but happily, iron is the first building there, so that's going to be quite easy as far as getting that kind of concerned for computers. But for now, we need to just make circuit boards, which is a little bit easier. We just need wire, and we need plastic. And of course, I've put these the wrong way around. This one's making rubber, that one's making plastic. So I'm going to just swap those around and ignore the fact I chose the wrong way around, because that just always happens. Someone did tell me that there is a mod in Factorio, by the way, that can actually deal with that. It's called something flip, like recipe flip or something, that you can have the inputs and outputs sort of redirected. So you don't have to have input on the left and input on the right. I'll show you next time we do a Factorio playthrough. Let me just get some of this. You can see I've already used this as a dump box before. And let's just make sure I select this to be rubber for future. And we'll have that going. So select recipe, rubber, that's fine. And off it'll go. And I'll just switch these in the boxes. And to finish up, I've just got a single assembler in here at the moment, and we'll scale it up later. That's not a problem. No power. I just need to connect this up on that side. And we've just got these feeding in directly for now. Just get it going. There we go. And that should start producing circuit boards. Good. So 10 per minute, we'll get circuit boards coming out of this thing. And again, we'll need to merge everything eventually, but for now, you know, we'll just get something going. And there we are. So let's just feed that way. Okay, and this will come out this side. Okay, so I now pretty much have circuit boards. There we go. Now the circuit boards are going to need to feed in for computers, but that was going to take a whole bunch of extra stuff in a manufacturer. You'll see we need to feed some cable in there, so we need to make cable. We need to feed motors, we need to feed... in fact, no, that's just for a manufacturer. What am I looking for? Let's just put the manufacturer down. I need computers to actually put it down. Put them somewhere else clearly. Let's just put a crafting bench down, and maybe that'll tell me what I need for the computers. Yes, it does. Somewhere near the bottom. Okay, so cable, circuit boards, plastic, and screws. So we know we have the capability of everything but screws, which of course we can make a new factory for, a new factory building. Cable, however, we don't have really a cable building at the moment. What we have is this, which is our wire coming out of here. And what I think we can do is just split, and I think we have room for just... Oh, we're just short on one extra building. It'll get clipped by this rock, and I don't know if there's any plants under here I can use to chainsaw. So maybe we'll just put the cable building here. So we'll have it like this. And that should be enough room, I think. And if I put that cable building here, we'll then need a screws building. So is that 3? It is 3, so we'll put one on that side just so I can get the idea of this. I'll correct that later. In fact, no, I'll correct it now. It's going to annoy me. There we go. So that's going to be our cable building, and that means this is an iron building right here, we should be able to split the iron out from there. And you can see there's this line right here that's able to be split. In fact, there's already a splitter here, but we can put an additional splitter right here and then split some out this way. And then we could just make a further building, probably on the line on the same grid here, to produce screws. And we've already made a screws building, so it's pretty much identical. It will fit in a 3x3. So if we have, you'll see that there is room for a 3x3 here. I've just got this copper belt running right through it at the moment, but you get the idea. It's going to go there. All right. Now, I've done that before, so I'm not going to do that on camera, and I think I'll probably cover it next episode. I've been playing for 2 hours, yes. We'll cover that next episode when we go into actually manufacturing computers for the first time, but you get the idea. Everything else is pretty much sorted and ready, so we just needed 2 more existing buildings of the stuff we've already built before, and then we could start thinking about computers, probably somewhere on this plateau. We might be able to fit it in over here. You know, with all the stuff feeding towards me as we actually look at it. The manufacturer is huge, however, so fitting that in is an exercise in frustration in most sort of factory layouts. But yeah, we get the idea. We'll be able to build up and scale as we need to. So that's computers sort of planned for, and all the prerequisites done. So that's going to be it for today's episode. It's approaching half an hour, and yep, there's my copper ingot building. So yeah, we will need to do some more research as I find more hard drives and stuff like that. I'm not sure if there's anything else to actually put in the MAM right now. I think I'm done with all of that, apart from the purple power slug. I need to go and find that. It's probably one of these boxes somewhere. Nope. Well, unless I already researched it. It's entirely possible. May have already researched it. Is it actually available now? Power shards 2. No, I've not already researched it, so it's got to be in... here it is. Yeah. So I find this at the bottom of the cave, heading over so that way toward beyond the S.A.M ore and toward the quartz that's beyond that one that I didn't really mark. There is a cave into the ground and the spiders in there, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, but there was a purple power slug. You'll find them in all kinds of places, so it's just it's not really a problem wherever you put them. And it'll just make 3 power shards instead of 2 for yellow and 1 for green. So unfortunately, you do sacrifice the power slug itself, but that's fine. So yeah, we're pretty much finished with research at the moment. Is there anything else I want to make for personal equipment. At some point I want to make a jetpack, but I've not researched that yet. We'll eventually get the ability to use rifles, but I don't have that yet either. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We've got everything running towards computers, and we've got oil production done into plastics and rubber, and we'll probably find another use for rubber pretty soon, maybe even an alternate recipe to get cable going. But yeah, I had to choose the reinforced iron. It was just so much better. And let's just finally just check out how that's actually going. We should find reinforced iron is backed up. Yep, it's backed up. So this thing is going to produce at full speed, and it's producing modular frames, which I've got quite a few of. So we can also then think about putting another manufacturer down for making heavy modular frames, because we're now backed up with modular frames. So good. I'm quite happy with that, and we'll see you next episode. As always, guys, thanks for watching.